Hello, Golden Knights win again, and I set the Periscope up so that you could see the big board. Nope, nailed it over my shoulder, and then right when I started it, within 30 seconds, they took the terrifying dragon off the board. So now it just looks like I am up in the rafters. I'm really not. I'm in the 100 level. I'm not even that high up in the stadium, but for whatever reason on there, it makes it look like I'm high, and the dragon is not even there, and I didn't even get a picture of it. What a disaster. I have the picture in the Discord. The dragon's terrifying. The dragon is terrifying. It keeps me up at night. I think I might have to start cheering against the team because I don't want to see the dragon. Dragon's terrifying. I don't want to see the dragon anymore. Nonetheless, let's talk about the Golden Knights winning third time in a row. Third season in a row, the Golden Knights have won both of their first two games with Bruce Cassidy. The last two seasons, they won the third game. They did not win the fourth game a few years back. They went 13-2-0 that year. They went 11-0-1, winning 7 in a row last season. They win them both this year. This was an interesting game coming in because the schedule tells you this is going to be a good one. This is a good situation for the Golden Knights. This is a spot that they should be able to get after it and find a way to win this game. Get up early, look like they were going to be in good position, but the Blues just hung around. And the Blues, the last two games, their first game up in Seattle, and then last night in San Jose, they went down 2 goals up in Seattle, 3 goals last night in the third period. They found a way to hang around and get back in these games, and they found a way to win the game. In this case, the Golden Knights did a really good job of continuing to kind of weather that storm off the beginning of the third and then find a way to get that big goal. The one that they really needed was that fourth goal. You could kind of feel like maybe St. Louis was going to get another one in that third period. They ended up getting it. I agree with Cassidy. He said they didn't really earn that one. I would agree with that. Basically, what happens is the puck is nearly getting in deep, and Pietrangelo peels off to change, expecting it to get in deep. They hit a little seam pass up the middle. Golden Knights didn't really have the center of the ice covered. Pietrangelo bad change, and then Robert Thomas, well, when Robert Thomas gets that chance, he's going to bury it. It's the same thing if Stone gets that chance, if Eichel gets that chance. There's a bunch of guys in the Golden Knights. If they get that out, they're going to bury that. So that's a little disappointing. But then to have that lead, to finish the game the way they did, to take advantage of a team that really did not have a ton of legs down the stretch. You could see it at the very end of that game, just really good to force them to really struggle to get in deep. And I think the big part that I noticed was at the end of that game when they're trying to get the goalie out, they're unable to even get it across the red line to dump it in. Like, it didn't even seem like they couldn't dump it in. They didn't even have the chance to dump it in. Vegas's neutral zone really, really good down the stretch, which is nice because for most of the game, again, kind of last game too, the neutral zone hasn't really been a strength to this point. The strength for the Golden Knights has been the top line. It's really that simple. They have been dominant. When the top line has been out there, the Golden Knights have dominated the game. It's been that way for both games. They have 17 points between the three of them. Stone and Eichel have been on the ice for 8 goals in 2 games. That's ridiculous. So that's basically been the way this game has gone. If you take away, even if the top line was just good, not like ridiculously exceptional as they have been, if they have just been good, the Golden Knights should be in trouble. Like, they probably end up in overtime in this game. Last game, it would have been a hell of a lot closer because the hat trick against the other way. Like, that, we're going to need more out of everybody else. Now, yes, the defensemen have been stepping forward. You have seen Hanifin up in the play the first game on that 2-on-1 with Howden. Theodore gets up in the play a couple of times. Good job to jump on that loose puck after the Schwint play where Schwint gets his first NHL point. Theodore's there to make that play, to get that shot off. And obviously right now, the Golden Knights have been hitting corners. Like, their shots are hitting corners. They're a lot of them. You know, you had 2 more off the post. Stone hit the post in the first period. I want to say it was first period as well for Holtby. I was down to my left. So yeah, you know, even those two, the shooting percentage, we know, is not going to remain at 38. It was 30 at one point. You know, it went down a little bit over the course of this game. It's not going to remain there. But the chances that are being generated, certainly by that top line and also by the power play. I thought the power play was excellent again today. Don't get the payoff, but really good power play yet again. It's going to come down, but the chances that are being generated by those groups are great. It's it's the rest of everybody that you're a little bit concerned with. Now you get the goal from Wah. That's really nice. Is it a replicable goal? I'm not sure because it's a shot from the point. There's two guys directly in front. Neither of them are covered. It was even hard to tell which of the two guys wide open in front of the goal got their stick on it. I don't know that that's necessarily something that we would be able to truly expect to get over and over. I do think there's a little bit of concern in kind of some of the turnovers over the middle of the ice and some of the lapses that have led to some of the chances going in the other way. Golden Knights do not want to be giving up 7 goals in 2 games all the time. I don't think they're going to be a team over the course of the entire season that's going to average 4 goals, 3.5, 3.7, whatever you want to call it. I don't think they're going to be a super high scoring team. I know that they have been through 2 games. I don't think they're going to be a super high scoring team over the course of the season. So I'd like to see them kind of tighten the screws a little bit defensively, more so than they have done to this point. That doesn't mean that they're playing poorly. That doesn't mean that there's these massive cracks or massive problems or that the goalie sucks or anything of that sort. It's just usually the way the Golden Knights win these games early in the season is their offense generates on the rush, which is what we're getting, but then they kind of lock it down and don't allow much coming the other way. I'm going to write a story for tomorrow that shows how offensive the Golden Knights have been to start seasons under Cassidy. First 15 games, they averaged somewhere in the ballpark of like 3.8 goals per game. So far, they're averaging 6, which is probably not going to continue, but it's going to take a while for it to get back down to 3.8. Even if they get shut out the next game, they're still at 4. So they're in pretty good shape to once again start the season off offensively. As the teams get more consistent defensively, as their neutral zones get more like structured, and as teams are more comfortable taking away some of the rush game that the Golden Knights always have relied on, I don't know that they're going to rely on it as much this year as they have in the past, but certainly the top line has gotten a lot of what they've done off the rush. Once that starts to slow, that's where we're really going to need to see that defense play at a better level than they've played in their own zone. That is not to say the defense has been bad. It has not. They've been very good exiting their own zone. There have not been a ton of those types of turnovers. Yes, there have been a few, but it hasn't been sustained pressure based on errors or flubbed passes or issues along the walls or whatever. It hasn't been some of the things that have plagued them in the past, but it has been just careless mistakes in the middle of the ice that have allowed quick strike chances coming the other way. It's allowed that that penalty that ends up leading to the goal that Buchnevich gets the second one. The penalty kill, not very good on the first one, very good on the second one. Good time to be really good on that second one. So that portion of it, you want to see a little bit of start to take those steps in the right direction. And I think that Sunday's a perfect opportunity to do it. Anaheim has not played a game yet. They play their first game tomorrow. I'm not even sure who it's against, but I know that then they come here right back after. I believe it is a home game, but I'm not entirely sure who it's against. But then they come here. So it is a late night game on Sunday. So it's a 7:00 game. So we don't get that extra couple of hours boost that we could have potentially gotten with it being a Sunday and them being on the back-to-back. But it's another opportunity. Oh, they play the Sharks. Okay, everybody plays the Sharks, and the Sharks are terrible. So maybe they'll win. I don't know. If they don't win, then they're terrible. If they do win, then they're still coming off a game where they played the night before. It's going to be an opportunity, I think, with that team to really lock down the middle of the ice and get back to some of the things that I think is going to make this team good over the course of this season, is to really dominate the middle of the ice. We haven't quite seen that yet. They're not losing those stick battles in front of the goal, which has been good, but the chances that are being created are kind of a lot more dangerous than we're used to seeing. Like the most dangerous chances the Golden Knights usually give up are those second chances right in front of the goal where they don't win the stick battle to get those opportunities and clear the front. Now we're actually seeing seam passes. We're seeing teams enter the zone a lot easier than we're used to. We're seeing some things that are symptoms of not going to be great down the road, are symptoms of not great defending down the road. Going back to the offense, I don't even think there's much to say beyond the top line is dominant. Like you're seeing them off the rush, they're great. In the zone, they're great. They're making passes, they're holding on to pucks, they're not forcing plays, they're getting pucks back, their puck retrieval's been excellent. They're generating chances from much more dangerous areas than anybody else on the team has done, there's not enough to say about how good that line has been. But if you take that line away, which obviously doesn't have to happen, but we're going to need more out of the rest. If you take just that line away, they've gotten, of the 12 goals, one is into an empty net, two are on the power play, that's three, and six are that group. So there's only been 3 goals in 2 games by anyone but that group. I think it's fair to expect that group to give you one a game. Maybe it's fair to hopefully get a power play goal a game. You still are going to need that extra goal from the other group. It's when you're scoring 8 and you're scoring 4 like they have done, there's going to have to be other goals out there. I think that when the games tighten up, you're going to need to see more from Hertl and company. You're going to need to see more from Wah and that group. They do score the goal, but I thought over the course of the game, they were not generating at a high enough rate for there to be goals consistently. The fourth line, yeah, I thought they were pretty solid, actually. You know, Pearson had that really good pass that had the chance for Kolazar. Schwint gets that puck back on goal that Theodore then puts in. I'll let them completely off the hook. I guess it's just the middle six I'm looking at. And right here, did Hertl play better today? I would argue no. I still think he doesn't quite look fully up to speed, fully the player that he had been in the past. And that's still okay. We're not burying him after 2 games. We're not going to say that he's never going to get back there. We're not that yet. But I do think with the 2 wingers that he has in Holtz and Dorofeev, Hertl's going to be expected to do a ton of the driving. A ton of the offense has to come off of his stick. It has to come from puck protection in deep, puck protection along the walls, getting the puck down underneath or at least into the circles, and then finding ways to get it to those other 2 guys. I don't think it's going to be a lot of transition tic-tac-toe stuff. I don't think they're going to hit a lot of seam passes. I think it's going to be a lot kind of more of drawing players to him, drawing defensemen out, and then hitting a pass going back up high and getting it back down to Dorofeev or whatever. However, you have to find a way to get those 2 good shooters opportunities outside of the Holtz shot on the penalty or on the power play, which doesn't even count because it's not on that line. I don't remember a ton of dangerous chances or even chances at all by that group. Now, the good news is so far a line with a defensive, he can be a good defensive center, but if we're not sure he's fully up to speed, there's going to be question marks there. Still kind of new to the system. That has not been an issue for him at all. We haven't seen any issues defensively at all for Hertl. So that's great. The other 2, there have been a few moments where I've been a little bit nervous. They've gotten through it. I don't think that either Holtz or Dorofeev have been the problem that I think we considered was possibly going to be the case as this season started, saying, wow, they're both going to be on the same line. There was an argument it was going to be tough with both of them in the lineup, period. For them to both now be on the same line, they have survived, certainly defensively. This Periscope and all Periscopes this season on SinBin.vegas are brought to you by the Jimmerson Law Firm. Jimmerson Law Firm is one of Las Vegas's preeminent law firms specializing in high-stakes business, civil, and family litigation. When winning matters, seek out the Jimmerson Law Firm. So the penalty kill was one that I was ready to kind of crush. I was ready to come in here, and I actually had it in one of my .vegas 3 takeaways of the game. I need to look up if takeaway.vegas is available because I need to start publishing those. I should do that. Somebody do that for me. Go to porkbun.com/sinbin and look up if takeaway.vegas is available because I think I might spend the $12 and buy it and publish it there so I stop getting Twitter impressions and I get more clicks. That's what I might want to do. Nonetheless, it was in my takeaways. It was number 2. Number 1 was always going to be first line is dominant. That was going to be number 1. But number 2 was going to be I'm getting a little concerned about the penalty kill. Like it was bad on opening night. It was not good on that first one. The problem is it's not the fundamentals. It's not some of the things that have been the problems in the past. It's not inability to stop the entries. It's not failing to clear the puck. It's not turnovers. It's actually the structure of it inside of the zone just has been way too loose, way too spread out. And it's so easy for these teams to move guys around. And you saw that in the first game. Rantanen hits that backdoor pass and zips one into the goal. And then today they had 2 in a row. 2 really dangerous opportunities in a row. They probably should have tapped the one in on the back door. They end up missing that one. They end up having the opportunity again. He rips that one and Buchnevich scores again, kind of coming in through the center. It's too easy to find the soft ice in between the box. They play a 2-2. It's been too easy to make that happen. And so far, that has to improve. The good news is in the third period now, back to back, 3 games in 4, they're chasing the lead. Like they were tired out there. Maybe that's not indicative of what it's going to be. But in that one, that's one where the penalty kill outworks their power play. They really never got it set up. So the issue that I saw, the issue that they are too spread out, that the structure of it isn't doing the job that it's supposed to do, they never actually had to deal with that being a problem because St. Louis really never got the puck. That being said, that is step one. Outworking the 5 guys is massive. If you can do that, especially in that situation, after you take a rough penalty, by the way, we have a very good angle of that. I sit up here, and it happened down right over here. The boards go around high, right? All the way around until we call it the elbow. The board then comes like down at an angle, and then it goes to a lower board all the way through the center, and then it goes back up. It was literally shot at the pane of glass that's angled down, and it was like this high over the pane of glass. What a disaster. Somebody put one more pane of glass. Like I tweeted that. What are we doing? We got to get one more pane of glass there if we could find a way, and we would have saved a penalty. Nonetheless, that power play starts. The gaps are good. The formation is good in how they're forechecking, forcing it one way. It's 1-1-2 through the neutral zone. It was good. They found a way. Kind of a 1-3 at different times. Depends on how things are coming out, what kind of speed they have. But it looked really good defending those entries. And if the Blues did want to shoot it in, we were really comfortable knowing that the Golden Knights were going to get on that thing first and get that thing out of there quickly. Then when the shots were coming in, by the way, don't worry about the siren. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It just means that the Jumbotron is moving down or up. That's what the siren is. So it's okay. The place is not burning down. This isn't my first rodeo. We're in good shape. Once the puck was getting in, Vegas was doing a really good job making sure that they were challenging the play immediately. There was pressure much higher on the puck. And then once there was a loose puck, their triggers were really good. That is step one of being good at penalty kill. It's good to see that that is still there. As we move forward, that's going to be important because that's going to be something that they're going to have to rely on while this structure inside of the zone isn't quite to the level that maybe it should be. If you do have questions, go ahead and pop them in the chat right now. I'll take as many as I can before I get out of here. I still need to go do a whole bunch of different things because I was slacking today. I really was. I realized it after the game. I'm like, oh, shit, I didn't do horology the entire game, which sucks because now I have to go home and do it, and now they all publish right in a row, and that's not the point. At least I should be doing it in intermissions. I'm focused on other things. It smelled like pizza. I'm going to be honest. It smelled like pizza in the press box today, and it was a disaster because I ate well before the game. Went to Pepper Lunch. Pepper Lunch is fantastic, by the way, but it smelled like pizza, and I was hungry, and then I couldn't find the pizza, and I didn't want to go all the way down to get a pizza because I didn't have time, and then it threw off my intermissions. Disaster. So I don't know. What were the horror goals? I don't know. I don't know, Chris, because I didn't look because I slacked today. I will get to this. By the way, Tuesday, we are doing a watch party and pub trivia at Giordano's. Please join us if you can. The game is at 4. You don't have to be there at 4 to play pub trivia. You can be there anytime before the end of the second period to play pub trivia. I'm going to hand out a sheet, and your entire table gets to fill out the sheet, and whichever table wins gets their entire meal paid for. Whether that's me paying for it, I hope not, or Giordano's paying for it, someone's going to pay for your meal. It's important to me that as many people show up as physically possible for the first one because I pitched this idea, and I think it's a good idea, and I think it's going to be fun, but I need people to actually show up so that we can keep doing it so that they keep comping a meal every single time. Otherwise, I have to buy your meal, and I don't want to buy your meal. I'd rather Giordano's buys your meal. So please, on Tuesday, the game is at 4 o'clock. They're playing Washington. Logan Thompson's almost certainly going to be in the net. Please join us at Giordano's to play pub trivia. Bring as many people as you want. Sit all at one table, sit at 2 tables. I don't know. Whatever you want to do, you fill out the sheet. And if you win, we'll comp your meal. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. The trivia questions are going to be hard, not Googleable, but things I think you're going to be able to figure out by kind of talking about it. You can maybe ask me for some hints. I don't know. It's going to be fun. So just please come. People all ages. We're going to be in the bar to watch the game, but there's TVs on the other side. You could bring kids. You could sit at a table in the regular restaurant. I will bring you the sheet to play pub trivia, and you can win. So that, please join me for that. Any of the new players impressing you so far? Any of the replacements doing a satisfactory job filling in for our players lost during the season? Obviously, Olofsson scores twice in game one. Hard to be upset with any of that. So it's going up. Yeah, see, it's going up behind me. That's the siren. That's why. You can see the little thing. Olofsson, good on the power play on that particular goal. The play that he makes holding the puck and then getting back down the ice and hitting that sharp angle shot towards the top, I like that. I don't feel like we've seen that much impact out of him, out of Holtz. I thought Schwint was fine doing the job. It's a first game. You're playing fourth line center. I can only imagine he probably played less than 8 minutes or so. I don't remember him being out there all that much. He gets a point. Like I said, that line did the job. I don't think they were particularly great, but they were good enough that it wasn't really a problem. They end up getting on the board. Well done for those guys. As a whole, I do think that when you look down the roster, when you look at the entire group, if it's not Stone, Eichel, and Barbashev putting up 2, 3, 4 goals a night, I don't know where they're going to come from. I know that the defense is going to be able to chip in. It is going to help some of the other lines along, but I do think they need a lot more. And to me, looking around, yes, I know we're going to rue Marchessault scoring goals, and Stevenson and Carrier had an assist today, and Cotter was leading the league in points for a minute. It's all going to be out there. We have to just kind of cross our fingers and hope it doesn't kill them. To me, so far, the replacements have not been beyond great. Olofsson scores the 2 goals. That's excellent. But outside of that, we haven't seen a ton. I think we're going to need more as we move forward for the other lines to try to put us in a better position to be more consistent offensively. Yes, the Giordano's in Boca Park. You're right. I should have said that earlier. The Giordano's is on Charleston, and it's like a little bit farther than Rampart or Fort Apache there. So if you can come to that, please do. Game starts at 4. It would be fantastic if you were there for that one. Yes, Juddy, shout out Giordano's. Giordano's is the best. And people complain to me all the time. It's like, I don't like the deep dish pizza. That's all right. They have regular pizza and it's delicious. And you're wrong. The deep dish pizza is fantastic. So Colorado has been a one-line team for 2 years and done pretty well. Well, yeah, okay, that's fine. So they do well in the regular season. They don't do well in the playoffs. You cannot be a one-line team. Yes, they're going to get away with it for a little bit of time. You cannot be a one-line team. They must get more than they are. That being said, if Carlson were to come back tomorrow, he's not. I saw that earlier. He's not going to come back. Thank God they turned come on. They turn the alarm off and then it goes right back on. I don't expect Carlson back really all that soon. I think even once he gets back on the ice, it's going to take a few days. I would be surprised if he plays on the road trip. I don't know if he's going to go on the road trip or not, but I would be surprised if he plays on the road trip. Maybe on the way back, then hopefully we can get him back. No matter when he does come back, or at least right now, if he were to come back tomorrow, there's no way I'm taking apart that first line. Absolutely not. So that's one thing that, like, maybe that helps. I would actually probably put him with Hertl. I think I'd put Carlson in the middle, put him with Hertl, and then either Dorofeev, Holtz, Olofsson, whoever you decide is the best option at that point. Maybe it would be Olofsson. I don't know. But it's right now, I wouldn't break up that line. LTIR, they could. He's been out for more than the 28 days because he was out for basically all of camp. So we're pretty much there now, I think. Might not quite be 28, but I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think he's going to be there. They could do it. The difference is they don't need it. There's no benefit right now to have LTIR on Carlson. Thanks again to the Jimmerson Law Firm for sponsoring all of SinBin's Periscopes this season. When winning matters, seek out the Jimmerson Law Firm. The Golden Knights have won. Let me see if I can find it. I had it. Let me see it. Hang on. Everyone hang on. I had it. I copied it. I don't think I have it. I tried to take a picture. They had it up there. I tried to take it. I don't have it. So it says victory, and then there's a dragon, and it has giant red eyes that are like beams, and then there's like shit coming out all over the place. The thing's terrifying. Like, I haven't slept in 3 days, and I probably won't sleep again. There is a picture of it somewhere in the Discord. I don't think I'd be able to find it right now. So we're going to have to just go without us having it. No, you know what? I'm going to try and find it. I got to find it. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it real quick. This is going to be rough. I'm going to search what I know that I typed in. Hang on. All right, hang on. I think I got it. Nope, I don't have it. That's brutal. Wait, one more try. Because I had it. Somebody took a picture, and I had it. Nope. Doesn't look like I'm going to have it. That's brutal. Devastating. Well, next game, the next time they win, I promise I will find a way to get it. But it did not. I can't find it. Trust me, the thing's scary. Like, somebody has to have it. It's up on the. I'm telling you. So here's the other thing. So over here, see that screen right there? That screen there. It was on there. So I had it set up, and then it was on the board behind me, and that's going up. So unfortunate. That's all I got for tonight. Golden Knights are 2-0 for the third year in a row. They were 3-0 each of the last 2 years. They play Anaheim at home, and they are off a back-to-back. I believe that they are going to win yet again. I don't know how the road trip's going to go. I don't think it's going to be an easy road trip, but I think the Golden Knights are going to win yet again. They're going to start 3-0 yet again. I think they're going to score at least 3 goals. I don't think they're going to shoot 30% again, but I think they're going to score a bunch yet again, and they're going to win again. That's it. Thanks again to the Jimmerson Law Firm, and we will see you Tuesday. Please come to Giordano's on Tuesday. It'll make me happy. Thanks. Bye.